Okay guys, hey everybody, welcome back. This is going to be part 80, what could be our final part. We're about to face off against Tirnoch. So
there's no turning back now.
Don't I know it, so here we go. I don't know what kind of monster boss Tirnoch's going to be. I don't know if Gadflow's alive or dead. I don't know if Alan Shearer's going to turn on me.
Bring me your power. Sacrifice yourself and seal the fate of your world. Seal the fate of your world.
Alright.
Time to choose your fate.
Oh, cutscenes.
Amathin lies beyond. This is where the dragon will breach the veil.
A fucking dragon.
Come forward, mortals. Behold the birth of Tirnoch.
Gadflow.
Attend your final hour.
My fate does not lie beyond those doors. You alone may change what is to come.
Coward.
Go!
There we go. It's like Armageddon, the badass.
Ah, yes.
It's like a dirty old man.
Welcome back, mortal. How does it feel, I wonder, to return to this place? Does the pain of your death still linger? Can you feel it echo through the air? And now, in this place, you shall witness the birth of Tirnoch, the destruction of the Alpha, and the dawn of the endless winter. Yes, she comes. Tirnoch the powerful. Tirnoch the merciful. Qualla fella Tirnoch. Qualla sera Tirnoch.
I don't even know what to say.
Tirnoch? Have I done well, lady? Are you pleased? Is it... did I...
You have served your purpose.
Chomp.
I have so much more to give.
Well.
And now, fateless one, you shall serve yours.
This is... what the fuck am I even doing? Oh, it sapped all my fate and turned it into a... Oh, I just got headbutted by a dragon. Can I even hurt it? Look at the size of its head, holy shit. I don't really know how I'm supposed to fight it. Which reminds me of the Balo fight. So I can't target it or do anything. So what's that? I wonder if I have to get it to destroy, because this looks like it does something, maybe. I wonder if I just have to go into like reckoning mode or something. I don't really want to waste it. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, where have I gone?
Yes, struggle. Yes,
So you have to let it suck the fate out of you. So then go into reckoning mode anyway to get it to fall closer to the ledge and then attack it, it seems. Oh, it's two of them. Okay, so if we do that, and then if we just go straight into... Oh, we can't, can we? Oh. Ah, it doesn't drain our fate this time like it did before. That's good. I can't even track what's going on half of this shit. Oops. What's even doing that to me? Alright, so we've built up our fate bar, so that pulls it close again, and we zap it in the head with some fate, which lets us get close enough to hurt it a bit. And we go tippy-toeing forward.
you are nothing but
This is the same thing, just over again. Holy fucking shit, what's going on here? I believe I'm about to get set on fire, if I haven't already been. So I don't think you can do anything to make that do any more damage. So we press F. Pressing F like a motherfucker and it isn't doing anything. Do I have to hold it or what happened there then? Oh. Well, and I complained about the camera before. What the fuck is this? I literally can't see a thing. Wow. What? What the fuck? This is stupid. I can't even say if this person's close to me or not. There we go. Oh, my sword just broke. Repair kit. Sword. Alright, so... Oh, there we go. I think I just jumped down its throat. I don't mean by like shouting at it. I mean actually turned purple and jumped down its throat.
How could we have known that this would be a new beginning? I wonder now if we should have foreseen this outcome, but who knew then what fate would bring? I would have liked to have delivered this message in person, to see you one final time. That, however, would have been complicated. The order to which I belong had other plans. Were you ever to leave the crystalline fortress? When it comes to you, though, it seems no fate is written in stone. It was only through my assurances that your silence could be counted upon, that either one of us still draws breath. I trust you will not make of me a liar. Were stories of what we have seen to begin to surface in the inns and taverns of Amalur, I would be asked to seek you out. And as we both know, the next time you die, there will be no return. But let us not speak of this. Your life is your own. Go now, and see what fate may bring you, or what fate you may bring. Perhaps one day in happier times, you and I will meet again. Until that day, I remain yours, Aelin Sher.
And that's really it. That's really it. Okay, let's see where we end up when we reload it. Oh, Destiny Defiant. So we've got another Twist of Fate. We've got 33 grand from somewhere. And we wake up in Rathia. Fucking Rathia. Is there anything new in here, or is it all my old shit? No, all my old shit. Well, there we go. So that's it, I think. We have no main quests. We just carry on with all our other quests that we had. So, oops. We'll run outside, see if there's a horde of screaming fans waiting for us.
Well, well, awake at last. You gave us quite a scare. But you're here and the war's all but over. So who are we to complain?
A drunk. I had it all under control.
Never had any doubt at all. Sidon and I were waiting for you when the ground started rumbling and the Tuatha all started screaming. And all I could think was, Gadflow just met his match. Sure enough, half of those red-eyed bastards gave up then and there. Wasn't much longer before Aelin Sher showed up carrying you over her shoulder. Told me to watch over you, make sure you were okay. She left some kind of note for you, but I know better than to read a private message from the likes of her.
I did it.
Yes, you did. You had an army at your back, but in the end, it was you who defeated Gadflow.
And a fucking dragon.
There's something you ought to know.
It's not
A lot
over.
of the soldiers asked me for readings after the fighting ended. And, try as I might, I can't see a fate for any of us.
Good, now we're all free.
Good? Perhaps. Freedom is a blessing, and a curse. If fate truly no longer holds sway over us, only time will tell if it is for good or ill. But regardless of what happens, Amalur and its people remain because of you. And no matter where your path leads, never forget, a person is defined by his actions. Who you are is up to you, and you alone. Go, my friend. Enjoy this world and all of its splendors. You've earned it.
And so that's it. So that's what we get. We got a bit of a debrief from a drunk man whose one benefit in life was that you could see the future, which you can no longer do.
I don't believe my eyes.
You won't find Captain of the What?
Okay, so that's it really. So we find ourselves left with all of the quests we never finished, and any of the areas we never really fully explored. We could go back and do again and again, but I'm pretty certain that, given that we very, very, very comfortably finished the game on its hardest difficulty at level 33 with this equipment, I doubt there's very much out there that is going to be worth doing, if I'm honest. I think what I might do shortly at the end of this video is I might just wrap up with kind of a my impressions of the game, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, how I thought it played, see if you guys agree, what you guys think. but that's about it. So there we go. So that's going to be the final bit of gameplay I think I'm going to upload from Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. This is my first ever Let's Play, so please let me know if you enjoyed it, if you watched it all, if you only watched bits, you know, what did you like, what didn't you like. Any recommendations for future games? I'm looking at any projects I can pick up, any games I could play. Obviously, May 15th, my life's going to become a Diablo Fest, so if it's something nice and short I could do before then, that would be good. Or it's something big I could carry on over that. Anyway, so thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Oh, let's just have one last close-up. Oh, where's it gone? Oh, Christ. Played it for 25 hours and still don't understand the game. One last look at this guy's head. Look at his hair. Whoa. A fine specimen of a man. Grr, look at that. Epic stance. Brr. That's like something of Unreal Tournament. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you later. Hey guys, so thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who's watched any and all of our Kingdoms of Amalur Let's Play. I kind of just wanted to put some last minute thoughts together. Not last minute, some post-game thoughts together about how I thought the game went, my experiences, what I thought about it, things like that really. So, nothing hugely controversial or different, but just a bit of thinking. Okay, so firstly, something to talk about, the world. So Amalur is a nice big place. There are very, very many areas where you can go to. So there's sort of 5 main chunks of it, and then each one is split up into several mini areas, each of which has lots of either ruins or dungeons or areas and things to do. My only criticism, I guess, is that a lot of the places, although there was a lot of it, many of the places didn't seem all that different from each other. So you would see the same kinds of structures and things in each area, even though they were designed very differently. So for example, Datia is very much of a desert, and Delatarth was a bit of a foresty type area. They are different, and Alabaster's kind of a wasteland. The areas you sort of encountered, the things you saw were quite samey. I mean, that's true of a lot of games, so it's a criticism of this game, but of action RPGs as a whole, I guess. But I guess the bottom line of it is that there was plenty to explore and plenty to do. Okay, so the premise. So the idea that you are a bite from the dead, fate-changing guy is a very interesting concept, I think. Not something I've seen before. I like the fact that you have Reckoning mode. That makes you a bit of a Billy Badass, and just kind of an oh shit button. I think it is a bit cheesy and a bit abusable, so it did make some boss fights much easier than they perhaps should have been. That was my choice to use it, so again, not criticism of the game. Yeah. What was I going to say? I was going to say something about something. Combat, looking at the world quests. Oh yeah. So the premise then that you mainly have a main story that you're going through, but there's an awful lot of side quests and things for you to be able to do. Now, a lot of the side quests are again very samey, and again, not a criticism of this game, criticism of action RPGs in the whole. This is very much kind of like an open sandboxy game. You can do pretty much whatever you want, any of the side quests, go to any of the areas, really. You don't have to advance the story to do that, or vice versa, you can just go straight through the story. I think for me personally, I think I prefer games where you do a little bit of story, then you get access to some quests, then you do a little bit more story. It feels a bit more structured. I didn't really get the rogue adventurer feel that games like Skyrim aim for, and in some cases provide, but story was, well, fairly average, but the concept behind it was interesting, and some of the gameplay was good, and the Reckoning mode was good as well, I thought. Very interesting, where you have to try and kill as many as you can, and you get a bonus for doing it. The clicking on stuff was a bit of a bitch, but that was just my inability to do it. Okay, so the good. Some of the characters I just want to talk about. So mainly you're supported through the game by Agarth, who's a drunken fate weaver, Ailyn Shear, who's kind of a roguey, murderous, thiefy type girl who you don't really know much about, but knows a lot about you, and then Sidon, who helps you out towards the end of the game. The characters were varied, again, and interesting enough. You notice they've all got different styles of gameplay, different approaches, different attitudes. It's nice to have that kind of teamy feel and support, but there wasn't much development or real interest in me in who they were or what they did, to be perfectly honest. That could just be me, I don't know. Sorry about that bong. The bad. So, here we are. two villains. So Gadflow, the main villain, kind of who you're chasing throughout a lot of the game and who appears throughout it. Didn't really like him, didn't think he was very well designed, I didn't like his voice or his mannerisms or kind of what he was doing or the things he said. I didn't really get much of a good evil villain from him, really. Didn't like that. And Tirnoch, who is kind of behind the scenes, grisly demon god woman type thing, then turns out to be a massive dragon type monster, which made for a nice change towards the end of the game. And a panic-stricken cutscene before you realise that the boss fight was actually going to be quite easy. It was more difficult manoeuvring the camera, which is a shame again. So again, didn't really feel much from the villains, but you know, it was all right. The skills. Now this is something where I think the game, it's both one of its greatest strengths and its greatest weakness, I think. Firstly, you can play the game in a huge amount of ways. You can be a rogue, you can be a mage, you can be a warrior, you can be a mix of any of those things. The problem for me was that if you wanted to just be one, it's like you wanted to dedicate yourself to a particular class, there wasn't a whole gameplay's worth of content for that play type. So for example, I was a two-handed warrior. By about, I don't know, less than halfway through the game, I'd already got all the skills I wanted. The loot system, for all the effort they put into it, didn't really make much of a difference because none of the uniques or the set items were any good. And by putting my first 10 points into blacksmith, I could make something that was better than any of that all the way through the game. It felt like, you know, I'd use the same equipment for 10 hours and then I'd have to re-upgrade it and then I'd be fine for another 10 hours. So the loot system for me added nothing to the game, which is a shame really. Because I think that can really make or break. When you're constantly developing and changing how your character plays, I didn't really need to do that, which was a shame. And also the kind of the abilities, the sagecrafting, the blacksmithing, all things like that. I felt that you could really just wholesale, completely ignore parts of them. You could do just about everything without putting points in many of them. I think like sagecraft and blacksmithing are essential if you want to make equipment. Detect hidden if you want to see some secret areas, but it wasn't necessary. And the rest were just for your convenience, really. You could do the Thieves Guild quest without any points in stealth whatsoever. You could just brute force your way through it, which I think was a good thing because it meant you didn't have to be a rogue, but a bad thing because it kind of limits me ever wanting to play this game again. Because for me, games that let you do everything the first time around, once you've found a playstyle you like, there is no replay value for me. And I think this is what this game suffered from. But I'll talk about that in a sec. The monsters, so as you see, you get quite a variety of monsters. Some of them were they were all kind of very unique, and they all did things in a different way, but there probably wasn't enough types of them, so it felt like you were fighting the same things quite frequently. But again, that's not just this game, that's action RPGs as a whole, so I shouldn't complain about that too much. But they were interesting. Some of the designs were interesting, the gameplay was good. Some of the combat situations became quite tense, quite interesting with some of them. Yeah, and the concept how they all had different things, different weaknesses was quite nice as well, so I thought that was alright. So that's really it. My overview, just to say that for me I thought it was a good game, but it wasn't a great game. I think like the way it worked was that it's got so much content in this game that none of the areas of it are really very well developed, so the story's a bit weak, the characters are a bit meh, the side quests are largely just filler, the loot system doesn't really deliver, the combat is good but samey, the only way you can get the most out of this game is by constantly changing what you're doing, and for me that's not the same as developing a playstyle. So I feel like they've gone for quantity over quality in this game, which is why I think it's good but not great. So I mean, I don't finish many games, I get into them and then I stop, so this has kept my attention and I've gone all the way through it, so it's a good game, good fun, plenty of value for money if you like the sort of playstyle it offers. Yeah, so there you go. So I've really enjoyed it. It's the kind of game I enjoy, so you'll see more of that kind of stuff from me in the future. And I just want to say a really big thank you for everybody who's watched any or all of it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please drop some comments about the game itself, about my playstyle, about what happened, about how you're playing the game, about what you like, didn't like, all sorts of stuff like that. It'd be really good just to talk to some people about what